Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the short afternoon broadcast from Brixton Inner Space Outreach, an organization of the World Spiritual University, Brahma Kumaris. My name is Bobby John. I'm a student of Raj Yoga Meditation. Today, I have been asked to speak about clarity in decision making, how listening to a silent mind can bring about that clarity. I wanted to start off today by asking a very simple question. How many times have we had to make a decision in our lives where we have asked many people, done a lot of research, and finally ended up more confused than where we started off? We ask of the people whom we trust the most, and we sometimes do research in Google or using artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT. And then finally, we end up more confused than where we started off. And sometimes we might even feel, oh, I need to make a holiday from this decision making, or let me stay in bed. The issue that we have today is not that we don't have information. We have too much information, but very little silence. We live in a very noisy world. Everyone seems to have an opinion. The social media has an opinion. The advertisement has an opinion. And the people who don't even know us seem to have an opinion on how we should live our lives. But underneath all that noise, there is something inside us that's very quiet. There's something quieter inside us, a deep sense of what really matters. I wanted to mention about a story about a person who had a job offer and he was not sure about what he should do. So he made out a list, the advantages in taking the job, and then the disadvantages in taking the job. Then he made another list to compare both these lists. He asked his wife, he asked his best friend, he asked colleagues, but even after that, he was not able to arrive at a right decision. So his best friend told him, have you asked yourself, what do you think? And his answer was, I'm afraid that I would give the wrong advice to myself. Maybe we can relate to that answer. Many of us can relate to that answer that person had. We trust others' opinion, but we don't seem to trust our own inner wisdom. We have many choices, and sometimes we tend to take the choice that yields us the best results. That's what we typically do. But equally or more important is to pick up a choice which actually helps us, asking that question, does this choice allow me to remain true to my values? And many a time we realize that the easiest choice is not necessarily the best choice. The most popular choice is not necessarily the best choice. And the choice that makes everyone happy, it may make everyone happy, but may not give me inner peace. There was once a lady who had a fantastic job of. She was headhunted, very a top executive in a company. She was headhunted, and she got a job offer from one of the top companies in the world. And they offered her a double the salary that she was currently drawing, a better title, better perks, pretty much everything that a normal person would be looking out for. And her best friend told her, it's a no-brainer, you should just take it. And finally, she decided to spend some time on her own. And every time she saw herself doing the job, the new job, she didn't feel comfortable about it. She stopped asking everyone, spent some more time alone, and then arrived at that decision of not taking the job. She thought, yeah, this is a very good opportunity, but not good for me, not the right one for me. And years later, when someone asked her the question about the job, she said, that was the best decision that she probably made because she stopped asking herself the question, does it look good? And she asked herself the question, does it, this job, does it feel the right way for the person I want to become? Stephen Covey explains it so beautifully in his book, I think, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, or The Eighth Habit, where he said, there are four aspects about us: the body, mind, heart, and spirit. And if any of these aspects there is unfulfillment in any of these aspects, there would be some gap inside you. Body, am I getting paid the market value? Heart, am I being treated well by my boss, by my colleagues? Am I treating is the company treating the customers well and all the stakeholders well? That's the heart. Mind, am I being used creatively? Is my potential being fully utilized? And then the spirit, the conscience, where is it aligned? Is this job aligned to my values that I stands for, my principles? Because principles govern the consequences of your behavior. And when the lady asked that question, she didn't feel comfortable. Uh, Possibly there was an integrity issues with the way the company dealt with its customers or its employees. So the key thing when we try and arrive at a decision, to have clarity in the decision, it's not about thinking harder, but it's about becoming quieter. Just imagine a glass of water with a lot of mud in it. What happens if we shake the glass? It becomes more muddy, right? But if we allow the glass to be still, to be kept without touching it for some time, the mud settles down. This is what happens to our mind as well. When we are able to um, pause, take a breath, and then become quiet, the confusion settles down like the mud in the glass settles down. So the key is not to be, not to listen to the loudest voice out there. The key is to listen to the quietest and the deepest voice that's within you. The wisdom that we are looking for is not necessarily missing. It's simply waiting for us to become silent so that we can hear it. So, my dear friends, I think we have come to end of time, but I would request you to also experiment with meditation, because meditation helps you to get the mind to become more silent, to reduce the speed of thoughts. And once you reach that silence, you can emerge that wisdom that's already within you and arrive at the clarity that you need to make the decision. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.